World Economic Forum. How are you? I know you're probably busy planning for next year's multi-million-dollar elite gathering, where you fly private jets that emit as much CO2 in a week as 350,000 cars, so you can all sit around in expensive suit jackets with slacks of various colors to tackle your self-proclaimed goal of tackling the dire ongoing crisis of climate change and inequality by lecturing the rest of us on how it's our fault. So we need to eat the bugs and be happy with owning nothing. You're probably still assimilating all of this year's hard work on improving the world state, state of the world, through public-private cooperation by shaping global, regional, and industry agendas, just like the ones that no one else ever voted for forever. You know, it sure must be cold up there in the Swiss mountains in the winter, but hey, at least you'll never have to worry about potential hypothermia. Seeing as how 5 straight days of scheduled hourly ass-kissing sure works up a lot of body heat. Oh, not to mention you have all that extra CO2 you've produced misusing the phrase, think outside the box, which you could forgive us all for assuming is probably more than all 7+ billion of the rest of us combined ever could, even if we tried. I sure hope you bring that one guy back so he can talk more about how we are one of the last generations of human beings on Earth because you plan to engineer bodies and brains and minds and use all that data you've hoarded to become the future masters of the planet. It's a weird flex, but hey, you do you. You know, I had a dream we live in a world where all it takes to rise to the top is a little hard work and dedication and an annual membership that costs between $62,000 and $620,000 a year, plus a $29,000 event ticket each year, plus additional fees, travel costs, and at least 5 nights hotel accommodations, and all that jet fuel for the private jet to go to Davos, Switzerland, where one sycophantically kisses up to global corporate elites and pretends to be enthralled by how many times some guy in a suit who paid the big bucks to sit on a panel on a blue stage in a blue room so he could work corporate jargon buzz phrase babble into coherent and almost meaningful complete thoughts, like about how in these unprecedented circumstances your team building has the bandwidth to pivot and move the needle to achieve synergy. The same blue room where soon-to-be 21st century hereditary monarch, because that's still a thing, and Great Reset announcer Prince Charles, who you all actually crowned with the UN goals like the craziest game of televised dress-up of literally all time, stood at a podium and said the phrase sustainable markets like 8,347 times, while you sat in the audience and pretended it doesn't make you want to fall asleep in slow motion, like the van falling off a bridge in some Inception level. Nether dimension of the fourth realm of the dream world your mind goes to hide in, because deep down, you know you sold your soul to the tulpa of commerce, the Skeksis of humanity summoned upon us centuries ago, and you still aren't sure what you're going to do with your life if your god dies. So the plan you came up with is to just keep trying to scare the rest of us by having a guy who literally looks straight out of white cat-petting central casting for a Bond film, and even occasionally dresses like Emperor Palpatine. Tell us all how it's going to be, that we'll actually listen and go along with what you say, despite the fact that you all seem about as able to conceive of what the average person in this world needs as the average person in this world is able to catch a break from you.
It's pretty extraordinary that we, select group of human beings, because of whatever touched us at some point in our lives, are able to sit in a room and come together and actually talk about saving the planet. I mean, it's so almost extraterrestrial.
And that's why I'm saying the general idea of people coming together to discuss the world's problems is sort of interesting. And, you know, we are a world community, whether we like it or not, because the internet has brought us all together in all sorts of crazy ways. But it's the goal of what these people want. You know, the other main thing that they're pushing at the World Economic Forum is they really want us all pushed towards that metaverse. They want us strapped in with those glasses, living in that Ready Player One. If your audience has not seen the movie or read the book, it was a Spielberg movie a couple years ago, but it's a book from the 80s, I think. They want us strapped in that digital world. And in essence, we are just the battery. Our carbon bodies are the battery for the digital world. You should also watch The Matrix.
I was going to say, this is literally
There's
The Matrix.
a whole bunch of stuff.
Literally, we are
The Matrix.
Yeah, wow, fair income.
We're all Keanu Reeves now. Are you Neo? Are you Neo? But go to the original Matrix, and you can basically figure out what the World Economic Forum is trying to do to us.
Well, yeah, it's quite bizarre.
The World Economic Forum laid out some of those problems in its global risk report. It warns that COVID-19 and the war in Ukraine have thrust the global economy into different times. It says, quote, the resulting new economic era may be one of growing divergence between rich and poor countries and the first rollback of human development in decades.
Just last week, the World Bank warned of a possible global recession. I imagine that will be one of the topics that they'll be talking about.
I think you said it right. It's a creepy event. I mean, these are people that claim to be wanting transparency and openness, but as we discovered this week in our reporting earlier, they hide their own finances, both for the World Economic Forum and for the Klaus Schwab Foundation. It shouldn't be lost on people that this is a group based in Switzerland, which has the most restrictive banking rules, allowing for people, including criminal syndicates, to hide their wealth.
Something outlined in this report is the risk of a polycrisis, which is the word of the moment and the word of Davos. It's essentially multiple global crises happening at once that knock into each other like billiard balls. Is this a new phenomenon?
The difference here is there is an obsession with how everyone else will live their life, while they certainly will not partake in that. These people, I assure you, will not be giving up their gas stoves that their very expensive Michelin star chefs are cooking on. They will not give up their private jets, as you're talking about. They will not give up their Bentleys and their fancy cars as they put us all out of, put all our gas cars out of commission. Everything they do is to control another set of people.
The QR code will be the so-called mark of the beast, marked like livestock and no longer free. The QR code has already become the standard for DNA data storage. We can now scan a specimen's QR code and extract the entire genomic map. And we can create a creature from this data. George Church of Nebula Genomics explains how his company has the ability to read ancient DNA, write, and edit it with CRISPR.
We can read the woolly mammoth genome, which is pretty amazing. Yeah. These things have been extinct for a long time. We can read this ancient DNA, and we can now write it, can edit the elephant genomes with CRISPR again, and we've done this. We've made 15 edits so far of bringing back extinct DNA.
He said in a 2013 interview with Der Spiegel that DNA can be assembled into an embryo and planted inside of a human woman. Church's Nebula Genomics wants to give people the opportunity to sell their genetic information for digital tokens. And he has Hollywood's Morgan Freeman to help promote and normalize his radical modern-day Frankenstein work. Stamping a human's DNA genome onto their mark is one thing, but in order to store a person's entire life onto a single QR code and have it utilized efficiently across the entire web, they are using the blockchain. Blockchain technology allows information to be stored by a tamper-proof ledger that others on the chain can monitor and validate in real time, and it is being adopted in nearly every major industry. With the help of big pharma and the media, the bankers are corralling everyone inside their rentals, wired up to the Internet of Things, with a QR digital ID that holds their entire DNA genome on the blockchain and managed by artificial intelligence. Just as the Rockefeller Foundation announced in their 2020 publication, Mapping an AI Future, and the UK Ministry of Defense in their 2021 publication, Human Augmentation, The Dawn of a New Paradigm. Marked like livestock and no longer free. Unless, of course, we all say no.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you can see and hear. As you can tell, the format has changed a little bit. I had a little bit of problem with my other software, and it has decided to not work anymore. So I went to this. Thank you, phone, for reminding me of something to do. As usual, hopefully you all had a great weekend. If I could get a sound check on all formats, that'd be great. Believe it or not, we're actually going out on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter right now. as usual, I'm going to be about halfway through the stream. We're going to shut off all the places that don't want to hear the stuff that we're talking about. Ian checked into the super secret chat first. Oh, that sounded healthy. Let's see here. What's Virginia Pappy is first over on the old Clapper. And the chat is a little bit weird. The Rumble chat does not come over to the streaming software. So I have to go back and forth. I can tell you that West Virginia Pappy was also first on the old YouTubes there. Let's go ahead and check out the Rumble. Good Boys Guild first. And Bob, 11 Papa, number 2. And then good morning, Barb. Hicktown Honey, Gator Starter, Netta, Ike's over there too. And a few more that have not checked in yet. Let's be humans about it. Let's check in, say good morning, and we can create a relationship of some sorts. Let's see. I moved the camera over. I don't know, guys. Let me know. Clapper, it's always going to be the same, but on the other formats, let me know what you think of this. I don't, like I said, the area that I'm in is very small. And I'm trying to come up with different ideas. And I don't know if this is working or not. So if this works for you, let me know, please. We got Deanna checking in. Good morning. Sherry, good morning. Well, do we have any more on the Rumble side there? Nope, not yet. Not yet. There's a significant delay on the Rumble side. So that's just something we're working with. It's not a big deal. Monday, let's see. Over the weekend, the Monday streams are normally pretty slow. The Wednesdays and the Fridays are much better. But the news over the weekend is kind of off and not really prepper focused. But it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get this whole thing started. You're going to see me looking around and pushing different buttons and things like that because this software offers some newer stuff that I can do, some newer, cooler stuff. And I have to learn how to use it. So first I'm going to push this button right here. And as usual, this stream is brought to you by the Patreon. It makes everything that I do is possible because of the Patreon. If you guys are interested in becoming a little bit more tighter, a little bit more LinkedIn community type thing, not LinkedIn, the website, but linked together, I definitely recommend you take a look at the Patreon. There's a link down below someplace. Go ahead and find that there. Take a look. There's actually a 14-day free trial period, and it's not expensive. It's like $3 a month. So, I mean, come on, guys. I've seen people pissing money away on worse stuff. And I've seen people pissing money away on really, really bad gear that they bought because they weren't part of the Patreon and didn't have a group of people to say, no, that gear sucks, dude. You need this. And then they actually send them a link to it. So go ahead and think about that for a little while, and you'll figure it out. That's right. Oh, that's pretty cool. I can make it. It's on the screen. It's off the screen. That did not do exactly what I expected it to do, but that is A-OK. All right, so now that we got that shameless self-promotion out of the way, we'll check the chat one more time there. Cindy Cost, not being human today. Okay, well, oh well. You're gonna make it. You're gonna be just fine. I promise. Let's see. No one else popped into the super secret chat, and that is okay. Let's see here. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. And let's see. I'm gonna start pushing some buttons here. I'm gonna share this screen. I want this one right here. You know what? I think I'm just gonna go right with the until we get through the little stuff. What do I got here? Once again, my phone is trying to tell me how to live my life. Let's go to that right there, and we're gonna, you know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's share that window. Okay, so if you didn't know, there's actually what do we got here? There's a subcommittee that's going to be going on in 2 days. And why am I telling you now? So you can get ready because it's going to be fiery. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nothing but the nutbags telling us this isn't a problem, but we all know that it is. Everybody screams Russia, 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 but the reality is that they're not our biggest enemy. Our biggest enemy is that place. So be aware of this. We can talk more about it during the Rumble phase of this live stream. That is right there. We'll see. We'll probably get some kind of disclaimer on the old YouTubes. It's always interesting to see when I do a live stream on YouTube. And then I come back in a couple hours or even another day, and there's like little banners on it. And it's like, do you need some real information? You know, like the physical information from the GOP oversight committee, you know, of the House isn't real information. Yeah, that's just not what it is. I figured I'd let you guys know about that one right there. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see here. This was, you know, you guys know I knock out all the stupid stuff right up front. That way we can talk deeper about, you know, other subjects that actually affect us as preppers. But this one is interesting. You know, they say they eat their own. And unfortunately, they do it quite a bit. Now the New York's Democrat mayor says migrant crisis has destroyed the city. The Biden admin has turned their back. Yeah. And this isn't just a joke. The mayor of New York City says the illegal immigrant crisis has destroyed his city and noted that the Biden administration has done nothing to help deal with the problem they created. Oh boy. So now you got one Democrat as the you know, mayor poking eyes at another Democrat who's freaking, you know, the president. And, you know, like, guys, I try to stay apolitical, but you can't, there's no way to avoid these kind of conversations now. They've made it so difficult to just speak like human beings, have a common discourse. And watch this. Let's scroll down here. We're going to watch this for like a minute. Watch this. Hope so. Huh. What's Mayor Lightfoot doing there? She's not a mayor anymore, and she's somehow part of this thing. You know, let's see. What else we got here? What we got here? This one we start to get a little bit more. We're going to change the screen on this one because it's a little bit. We're gonna go a little bit deeper when we start to talk about those types of subjects right there. Going back to check the chat very quickly. Whoa, there we go. Everybody checked in. What we got here? Driving this morning, headed to get a set of encyclopedias. There you go. Hicktown says, warning, this is the truth. We want you to know. You know, I don't understand why Rumble is like constantly just like playing the wrong thing. It's kind of weird on my side. I think it has something to do with the fact that I'm streaming it. But anyway, no volume on CID. I don't know what CID is, Netta. Low value. Yeah, the video on the New York thing was extremely low. So there was nothing I can do about it. I'm sure there was sound. There you go. Gotcha. Video. I gotcha. Yeah, thank you, Ned. I appreciate it. Let's see. We're gonna go check the YouTube chats. What do we got here? People that were just checking in. Grumpy Acres planted a chair for the moment. Fill me with info. Look, if you guys don't know, Grumpy Acres Farm has his own chair. Good to see you got to change your name too, man. He has his own YouTube channel. Go ahead and check him out. And I think you'll like what he has to offer. We need to build this guy up a little bit. He says, I'm not going to lie, a little bit off Scandafeud when I see things like that. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. There are some things that are going on that, you know, it's like we're being bombarded. Sometimes I can't even put my words into coherent sentences because I'm trying to like think about 30 problems in my brain. You know, they're surrounding us. And, you know, is that part of the plan? I don't know. That's some tinfoil hat stuff there. But the reality is those things could be happening. But a more realistic approach to what is happening in the world, instead of it being some planned bombardment, it's just all falling apart. If you guys watch or if you guys participated in the watch party that we had last Thursday, you would have seen that right now we're in a process of decline here in the United States. It's not good, guys. It's not good. And it's not good because we have allowed our leaders to turn these agendas on and do these things in our country that make no sense on any level at all. You know, a lot of this goes to the talk of equity. And some of that we can talk about here, but not a lot of it. But basically, equity is taking away from these guys to give to these guys so that they're on an equal playing field. What that definition does not include is the fact that these guys worked really hard so that they would have more than these guys, and not because they would have more, because they wanted more, for their family, because they wanted a higher class of living, because they wanted to be able to put their kids through college, because they wanted to be able to afford homeowners insurance. You know, these are the basic. This is the American dream up here, but these people down here, they talk about the American dream, but they don't do anything about it. And yes, I know there are things wrapped around that whole lower class conversation. And when I say class, I don't mean like a rhetorical thing, or, you know, or a derogatory thing. I'm literally just using it as a way to graph things out. But those people, excuse me, that want more, work for it, and find themselves in this area. So it's what they do after things are equal. These people that are being forced to give away their lifestyles, that they're being forced to be brought down in order to equalize what's happening, are just going to continue to work, and they're going to find a way to make their lives better. These people over here, they're not going to do that because they didn't do that from the start. So it's just going to keep doing this over and over and over until one day one class gets tired of the other, and there's a problem. And there's a problem. I want to, you know, where are we at here? I'm going to show you. Where is that at? Oh man, I thought I had this whole thing set up, but apparently I do not. And where'd it go? I must have. I don't think I deleted it. There it is. Boom. We're gonna slide that over. We're gonna do something about that right there, and we're gonna go ahead and share. Where are we at? Your prepper stuff. That's right. I'm pushing all these crazy buttons, guys. All right. So last night I saw Reality Survival was doing a live stream, and he was like, "Hey, man, if you guys want to come on the Zoom call." So I was just sat there. It's like nobody's joining, nobody's talking, and this guy's, you know, he's got 100,000 subs. He's been doing this for years. You know, I was even talking to him about like how I remember when he had a completely different background. He looked completely different. Had a great conversation with the guy. If you get a chance to go check it out, he does Reality Survival, and that's the actual title right there. Prepper Sit Rep, chatting with you live. Awesome giveaways. I didn't see any of the giveaways, but you know, that wasn't why I was there. And I ended up talking to him, and then we ended up talking to this really, really intelligent guy who's got another channel that is like Prepper Tips or something like that. And we determined that he has the same voice as Ross from Friends, but he was extremely intelligent about how the CBDCs will probably not even work. He's literally like giggled and said, you know, let him try, because then he went through the process of defining why the CBDCs won't work. And so he kind of gave me like a sense of hope as it comes from the, you know, that particular topic of discussion. Hey, good morning, Boy Scout. Good to see you, bro. So I want to let you guys know about him. Like I said, he's got 100,000 subs, so he doesn't need your help. But it was a great video. I might download it and put it up on my side too, just so you guys can see it like on Rumble. Yeah, if you're interested in watching it, there it is right there. Okay, so we're gonna stop sharing that one right there, and I'm gonna push this one right. Oh, look at that! Look what just happened. You guys see that? That's pretty amazing. Now's the time to do it. Now I don't have to depend, and I do like depending on my followers to hey, it's time to give a thumbs up, guys. Time to tap that screen and do some other stuff. Now I can actually push a button and do that. Then I can say things like, hey, maybe you need to be more active in the chat. And you can see all these things. Now I'm hoping that you're seeing all of this on Rumble. I don't know. I'm a little bothered that I cannot see the chat in this software from Rumble, so I have to keep going back and forth, so on and so forth. Let's see. Hicktown Honey says, I couldn't take it all in, but the fact is hackable is good to know. I don't know what that means, Hicktown Honey. But let's see. Okay, so we've got that going on. And, what is that? I got 7 people on, 0 on Facebook and 1 on you know what? Hey, the person who is watching me on Twitch right now, I appreciate you. Not a lot of people would take the time to stop and watch this type of content because Twitch is generally a gaming type thing, but this is the way of the world. And if you like what I'm doing, tell your friends. All right, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn that off, and then we're going to pop. And oh, look what I can do. Oh, yeah. No comments yet displayed here. What? Text. Comments. Why is that? There we go. Oh, it'll only pop in there when people are typing stuff. That's pretty interesting. That is pretty interesting. So you can actually put your put your words on the screen while I'm doing stuff. That's automatically. Of course, no, Rumble doesn't do it, but it is what it is, because it's kind of a shame because we've got 30 people watching in Rumble right now, which is pretty good for a Monday. It's pretty damn good for a Monday. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to switch to this. We're going to switch back to this one right here. And I'm going to use this little set of buttons right here. Boop and boop. And now you're going to be able to see all of that. So I may need to go get a cough drop. I don't know what is going on with my throat. Maybe I got the that thing again that we must not say anything about. All right. So the title of this article is I love Tyler Durden. That's hilarious. It's a defund the global police moment. Jen says, de-dollarization is happening at a stunning pace. That is the key phrase in this article, guys. De-dollarization is happening at a stunning pace. If you are not aware of it, specifically in the last week, it has gone into hyperdrive. The destabilization of the US dollar as a global reserve currency is being systematically destroyed. This is not a joke. I'm not making this up. There is no tinfoil hat. It is happening, and it's going to affect everyone in the United States. There's no question about it. If you don't believe a word that I'm saying, I'm sorry, but I'm literally spitting truth right now. Over the last few weeks, it has seemed you can't turn a page, blink at a pixel, or hear a news report without some form of de-dollarization headline shrieking at you. From Brazil to Saudi Arabia and from India to Argentina. Argentina is actually in the news, but no one is talking about it. But I'm going to tell you about it right after this. And an increasing number of nations are reportedly shifting away from the dollar hegemon. Now, that means power, guys. It means control. That's what hegemon is. If you go look it up, look it up. And those are the articles that they're talking about. But as usual, I highlight the stuff that's important right now. But below the surface, the dollar's fecal matter is striking rotating objects at an increased speed. Does anybody know what that means? If you know what that means, I'm going to say it again. Fecal matter is striking a rotating object at an increasing pace. Type in the chat what you think that means, because I'm curious if anybody actually knows what that means. Boy Scouts got it. Number one, Boy Scout nailed it. But that the clapper is like almost instantaneous. So, yeah, I need to see on the YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch side if my comments are going to be coming up on the screen. There we go. There we go. Dawn. There we go. So that came in from YouTube. Donna Marie. Hey, nice to see you. I don't recognize your name. Welcome to the channel. Nice. But yes, that's exactly what it means, guys. Let's see. Ian says it says the same thing in the super secret chat. Texas Patriot Biker is also in the super secret chat, Discord chat. Good morning to you, my friend. He says he's in the back row listening. All right. I don't know if I should leave that chat up there, guys, because it's like I think it's too small. You guys can't actually like see this. There we go. I think that's better. The U.S. dollar tends to do well when the economy is soaring or slumping. Recently quantified just how rapidly the de-dollarization is occurring. That the dollar is losing its reserve status at a faster pace than generally accepted, as many analysts have failed to account for last year's frantic swings in exchange rates. The dollar suffered a stunning collapse in 2022, and a lot of people didn't even know about it in the market share and as a reserve currency, presumably due to its muscular use of sanctions. Yeah, I'm going to explain that to you in a second here. Exceptional actions taken by the U.S. and its allies against Russia have startled large reserve holding countries. That's right. It kind of scared a few people that, yeah, we're just gonna exercise our sanctions. If you don't know what that means, it's actually pretty simple. If you use the reserve currency of a country, that country can control your country's ability to trade globally. Why? Because they can sanction you. If you didn't know what that means, they can say, yeah, you don't need to use any. You don't need to move any of those monies anymore. You can't buy any of our bonds anymore. Yeah, just until you get your trash in one bag. Just until you start doing things the way we want you to do it. And then, yeah, no problem. That's exactly why Iran for years couldn't trade all of their oil to anybody because of U.S. sanctions. And what's the reserve currency? The dollar, which is also the petrodollar. So that's how that all works in a nutshell. And it scared the crap out of a lot of countries. And one of the reasons, and honestly, it's probably just an excuse to move away from all of the, to move away from the dollar as the reserve currency. Let's see. If you adjust for price changes, the dollar share of the official globe reserve currency has gone from about 73% in 2001 to around 55% in 2001. Then last year, it fell to 47% of total global reserves. So less than 50% of the total globe reserves are in the US dollar right now. And that was last year. That's not good, guys. That is not good in any way, shape, or form. And the reason is pretty simple. When people stop using the US dollar as their global reserve, as their way of moving money from one country to another, which is the way it's set up right now. I think it was Glass-Steagall. The country that has that currency loses all of their power. So everybody's slowly moving away from the US dollar, which means the US is slowly losing all of its economic power. Now, how do we fix this? It's not easy. It's not easy. It's easy to say, so I'm going to say it. It's easy. We start making our own stuff. We start providing our own fuel. We start building, back in America. I'm not going to say build back. I'm just going to say build back without the other better. We start to build our own stuff. A good 60% of the stuff that American consumers purchase on a daily basis do not originate in this country. The grapes that I'm eating, the grapes that are in my refrigerator right now come from South America. Almost all of the plastic that's on this desk came out of China. This company, this non-American company who makes this awesome mug. We have to start making our own things. We know how to do it. We didn't forget how to form plastic. We didn't. In fact, I think we invented it. We did not forget how to make microchips. I think we invented it and then sold all the rights to some other company. So we can do these things. We do have the technological power. We do have the muscle to do it. We do have the space to do it. And believe it or not, we do have the money to do it if we stop pissing it away on programs that do nothing for our country. So, yeah, there's that. There's that. I'm going to go ahead and switch off to this right here so we can talk intelligently about this next subject, because nobody's really talking anymore. Oh, Beecher showed up. Good, bro. Hey, good to see you. We got Gibsby showing up. We got Leroy here. There we go. There we go. And the real Patriot Medic. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, we got an actual comment here in the super secret from the Humphrey clan. So if the US dollar crashes in other countries, what is going to be used? Beg, barter, and trade, I assume, would be first. No, trade, bartering is normally last. Is normally last because it takes a long time to filter a currency out of another country. Where US dollar is the king worldwide. Yeah, I mean, it still is. But they're moving away from it. So honestly, mostly the yuan, Chinese. They're really starting to look at that. There's also a very strong push right now between Russia and China. They're actually creating an Arctic road to connect China and Russia so that they can cut, I think it's like 26% out of the cost of using shipping freight over water. So there's that process. And then they'll just slowly do it, And it's funny too, because I think somebody said the other day, it was like, and I'm probably going to say this wrong, but it was like, it's taken over 20 years to finally get everybody, I want to say it's Spain, to stop using their currency where it was now they can only accept, businesses can only accept the euro. So, I mean, it takes time to do this. They're not going to instantly, I guess an easy way to think about it is that if tomorrow morning they said, okay, we're no longer some country, whatever, Kyrgyzstan, because Blackistan, that sounds better. They decided that they were no longer going to use the US dollar for anything, that they would only, you got 3 months to get rid of your dollars and trade them in for yo-yo money. And then, at that time, it would take time to physically get that currency into circulation. So those are the kind of things that it would take a little bit of time, BRICS. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's all about the vacuum. Financing in general will always look to fill a vacuum. They'll always look to see where there's a space to put something in. It will never sit empty. There'll never be a time where it's not this, but it's not that. It's going to be either or, and there's going to be an ebb and flow. And then one day there'll be more of one than the other. It's just that easy, Honestly, I believe that it's more of a opportunity to introduce the CBDC and an actual opportunity to say this is the reason. When I was on with who was that? What was his name? Where are we at here? Reality Survival. JJ's his name. JJ Johnson. When I was on with him, we were talking about the CBDCs and introduction and the Unicoin and how that might work. And he's a very intelligent guy. He really talked a lot about you could tell he knew what he was talking about when it came to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, the CBDCs, Fed now. But I told him up front. I said, hey, these are not the questions we should be asking. He's like, huh? I said, we should be asking only one simple question: why? Why is it necessary? If we're almost all digital, if we're paying with our phones, if we're paying with our watches, I don't do that crap. I don't even pay with my phone. If we're paying with credit cards, if we can take our card and just touch the machine with it and bloop, bloop. If we're doing that already, why do we need a digital currency? It's pretty simple. It's digital ID. They're already pushing social media to force digital ID on people to prove who you are, all in the name of protecting our children. Well, last time I checked, that's what parents are for. That's the parents' job. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. What's the actual chance that CBDs are fail or succeed? I agree, Humphrey Clan. I'd say it's about 50-50. I would go listen to, I'm going to download his video and snip out the parts where we were talking to this guy from Survival Tips. And the guy's just, his brain is on fire. His brain is on fire. And it's really hard to listen to him, because if you're not paying attention, he'll say something that'll like, it'll pop in your head like, wow, I never heard that before. And then it'll just be gone just like that, because he'll move on to something else that'll make your head pop. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to download his thing, and I'm going to freaking do a little video up where we talk to that guy, because it was absolutely unbelievable. It was a super conversation. So I honestly, the government's going to try and do what they're going to do, but they're really bad at implementing systems. Think of the introduction of CBDC in the same way that you would think about the introduction of Obamacare. You remember the day they opened the website and they turned it on and it all crashed? I'm expecting the same thing. Okay, so we have, guess what, guys? We have hit the 30-minute mark. We're over time here, so I want to show you something. Before we go ahead and disappear. Before we go to the place where we can actually talk about the things that we want to talk about. EMP Shale, guys. If you don't have one, you need to get one. And I know you don't want to hear it. But the reality is that as we move closer to war, something's going to happen. Okay, something's going to happen here in the United States. And it's either going to be something, semi-revolutionary, or it's going to be another country shutting us down because we won't comply. I mean, it's actually pretty smart if you think about it. You do everything you can for years and years and years on end just to try to become the preeminent power. And there's this one little thorn in your side who used to be the boss on the block, and they just won't shut up. What's the easiest way to do that? That's right, guys, a little old EMP. And oh, by the way, a pretty good CME hit us yesterday. And it did mess with the internet, and it did mess with radios, and it did mess with television. And it was only a G class. It was a class 4 G4. So my plan is simple. When things go wrong, I'm going to get in my vehicle, I'm going to drive, I'm going to pick up my loved ones, and that's going to be it. Now, if you are interested in this, make sure that you use code LOCALPREPPER, all one word. It'll save you $50. And look at some of their other deals, because search around on the internet, because somebody actually found one. It was like, I think it was like Event 10 or Save 10, and you could stack these codes and save over $100 on these devices. All I know is that if stuff goes down, my stuff will work and yours will not, unless you have thought this through. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get ready. I got to figure out how to push these buttons over here. Where are my stream buttons? Let's see here. Edit. No, that's not it. That is not it. Edit destinations. Okay, let's do that. Let's edit destinations. Okay, so obviously we're gonna have to go ahead and kill the YouTube guys. So if you're on YouTube right now, go to the link in the description and find us on Rumble, because that's where we're going to continue talking about the real things. I'm going to go ahead and kill you guys in a couple seconds. Twitch, I'm going to leave you on right now because I think there's like one person on Twitch watching. And I don't know what's going to happen over there. I don't know what I think that the big thing about Twitch is that Well, honestly, I don't know. Twitter is definitely staying up, but and Facebook will have to come down, because if not, you just say the wrong thing over there and, well, somebody shits a kitten. All right, guys. So if you're following on either Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, you need to go and find the link in the description and go find my Rumble channel, and then make sure that you subscribe to Rumble. Guys, free speech is huge. You've got to get on it. I'm shutting you guys down now. We'll see you over there. Facebook. Bye-bye. Let's see here. Twitch. And I changed my mind. So I know Twitch is they're baby super liberal. So I'm going to shut Twitch down. Bye-bye. And then YouTube's, my old YouTube's, guys. My 6 people watching on YouTube's. We'll talk to you later.